right now, it's time for the junk drawer.
Did you know that Benjamin Franklin invented the junk drawer?
Junkin!
This is where we have some of the leftovers during the course of the week to try to entertain you and give you a laugh or a smile heading into the weekend. Marriage rates are up, divorce rates are down, and Gen Z is trying to date via Zoom. Who had the marriage up, divorce rate down?
That would be me. That is the latest report from, well, I'm not even going to say where it's from because I don't want people to be slanted potentially either way. But it's somebody was reporting on a recent study that was done by the U.S. Center. It's CNN. Everybody always freaks out whenever I say CNN or Fox, regardless which one I say. If they're referencing it, they go like, well, we can't trust this article now. So after the COVID-19 lockdowns, 2022 was a year of marriages, according to new data. The number of marriages took a dive around the start of the pandemic. No kidding. For the past 2 decades, the number of marriages stayed around 7 to 8 per 1,000 people, according to new data released by the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention. But in 2020, the marriage rate was down to 5.1 per 1,000 people, the data showed. The rate started to decline the next year, and by 2022, the number of marriages had reached 6.2. But what's interesting here is divorce rates are, for the first time in a long time, going down. So in 2022, the divorce rate was 2.4 per 1,000 people. Although that isn't the lowest it's ever been. The lowest it's ever been was in 2021 with 2.3. It continues an overall downward trend over the last 12 years or so after it had been a significant spike.
So did divorces go up during COVID, which I think would happen when you're stuck around each other nonstop?
But I guess you couldn't get to an attorney because you were locked inside the house or whatever.
And you couldn't cheat.
You were quiet quitting, I guess. But I do have a theory about this.
Quitting.
So I have a theory about why divorce rates are going down. So people live in social bubbles where they don't ever challenge their perspectives or thoughts. You don't typically see people with friends of differing perspectives as much as you did 20 years ago or whatever. So I think they end up in these dating echo chambers where there's less friction naturally. And it pairs up two people who are going to be completely like-minded on a number of issues, and it doesn't cause tension or problems. But I don't necessarily know that that's the healthiest thing for personal growth if you're never challenging your thought process. But it may just prevent you from becoming bitter and splitting up. That's my theory.
That sounded
might be true.
Very informative, deep. Yeah. Like that came from therapy or something.
Look, if you
certainly didn't. Thanks, Sandler.
If you think about it,
better help.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you can't just have fun every day for the rest of your life with you can't just drink every night, go to happy. You got to have sooner or later deep conversations. And if that deep conversation leads into something that you guys heavily disagree on, and it's going to lead to fights, and that's going to lead to a divorce eventually. So I guess that makes sense.
I knew a lot of people growing up, I knew a lot of friends, parents and stuff who they were of different political parties. And I don't see that at all anymore. At all.
Because people are closed-minded.
No, that's what I mean. It creates this no friction, just we're good. We've got our agreements in place, and then ultimately, it probably causes less fights, but you ultimately just don't grow because you never challenge what your thinking is.
And that's a problem. That's how people drift more to one side, by just only dealing with people on that one side. That becomes a major issue.
Could you be married to someone totally opposite?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Pepe, you?
Sorry, what was the question again? I was doing giveaway.
He was doing the giveaway. That's it. He's got an excuse. He's got an excuse.
He's creating a Facebook group for his 4 p.m. party on Saturday.
We got Gen Z dating or Gen Z?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Gen Z prefers first dates to be digital versus in real life. They're saying it's more efficient.
More efficient?
Yeah, so you don't have to get dressed up. You don't have to leave your house. You pop on Zoom. You do a first little 15-minute date, and you see if you guys can get along and talk to each other and communicate, and then you decide if you want to do date number 2 or what I guess it would be date number 1.
That would be date number 1.
That would be date number. This is not a real date.
No.
This is a Zoom call. I don't know, man. This seems like. Have you ever tried to do? We've done this. Have you ever done an interview via Zoom? It's impossible. There's a delay. People are talking over each other. It's just
What have you been interviewing for behind our backs?
No. I don't mean an interview.
You going to the freak too?
No.
You'll be back in a month.
I'll be back in a month. I know, right? No. No, it's like any kind of like radio interview or like a podcast, but you do it over Zoom.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
It does cause a little bit of a delay. There is that. I don't,
But you think we can do our radio show like that?
We can. We absolutely can. We absolutely can. But it's when you don't know the person, it's much more difficult. And by the way, it is more difficult to do a radio show too.
Yeah.
Right. It's much more difficult. It's much easier in person.
Now, the best part about doing it on Zoom, you can end it quickly versus in person, right? If you sit down for dinner, you got to go through the whole.
That's why the coffee date, the drink, the individual drink is the way to go.
Look, I hate I don't want to be the kids these days type. And there's not, like, I don't think in a vacuum I can say everything Gen Z has brought to the table has been bad, because it hasn't. Like, I mean, in general, I think that they've got a lot of things that are working in their favor. But one of the areas where they are significantly lagging is this and COVID probably didn't help it, is just this complete aversion to social interaction, like normal human interaction. It's weird.
It's very weird. Like, everything is done like with a headset on now. It's like if it's not on a VR mask, then they don't want it to happen.
What do you have to say about this?
I don't know. The whole Zoom. I mean, to meet them for the first time over Zoom, that's just it's awkward. It's an awkward 15 minutes. It just seems like it's not a good setup. I don't think.
Man, don't you want to feel like don't you want to possibly take them home? Like, don't you want to feel that's how you get the feels going.
Yeah.
In person.
Yeah.
You know, are you attracted to them? Like, sit there, have a few drinks. What are we doing? We're sucking the fun out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Just let me text you. We'll text, and then when we meet in person, that's our first time seeing each other.
Do you feel it? Do you feel the vibes? Yeah. Not do you feel the, cell signal, the cell tower?
Do you feel the buffering?
You feel the buffering.
Well, and I guess these people are doing Zoom because they have Samsungs, right? The Androids, they can't, FaceTime.
I mean, you can FaceTime if you want to, but it's just like, I don't know. Like, I think there was something, like Sean's right, like there was something to seeing her for the first time. I'll never forget the first time I saw Sarah in person. I will never forget that. That is burned into my memory, what I wanted to wear as a hat.
Tell us about it.
I saw her from behind. Like, she was
well, that's how you want to wear it.
It was like she came outside the apartment to meet me, and she was walking her dog, and then I had known what she looked like, so I know what she looked like, but I never saw her in person before, and I just, whoa!
Did you say you're prettier than your pictures?
I did not.
Like you did to Bobby's wife.
I did not. I don't know what I said. I don't think I said anything.
All right,
I just mumbled something.
A Barstool poll question on bread.
Okay. This I think is a fascinating question. Do you eat the end slices of the bread?
The booty bread?
The butt bread.
They call the booty bread?
Yeah.
So my kid, when you go to like Chick-fil-A, the waffle fries, they got the fries that have the skin on them.
Yep.
My kids call them butt fries. They won't eat them.
Okay.
So every now and then I'll get like half of a fry, like half a package of fries for them because they refuse to eat the butt fries. But do you eat the butt bread? Is not eating the butt bread a sign that you're bougie, rich, whatever, and is eating the butt bread a sign that you're poor?
Or cheap.
I did not grow up rich. Grew up with 9 kids in a 3-bedroom house. And I never touched that, ever. And wouldn't. I would not eat that.
Why?
It's just, like, I mean, nobody, like, in general... Nobody, like, loves the crust. Usually, I think as you grow older, like, it's part of the whole flavor experience, and it's fine. Like, I do like crust, like a good crust on a sandwich. But, especially, like, growing up, that's all crust. Like, people want the crust cut off. It's like, can you cut the crust off of this? Well, no, that's just the whole slice of bread is crust. So, no, it's like, the crust is generally not the best flavor in bread. So, no, I don't eat it.
On like, one of those, like, on French bread, like the baguette, like, I really like the end piece.
So I know a lot of people who would use that piece for, like, they would save them up and they would use them as, like, French toast.
I'll do it because I'm cheap. I can't throw anything away. I'm a food hoarder. But what I'll do is, like, okay, if I want a snack and I'm not going to make, like, a full turkey sandwich.
Then you'll eat the butt?
Then I'll eat the butt. I'll sit there and take, 3 slices of turkey and half fold it. It's a little. It's not a full sandwich.
But without question, everybody's the same on this. That until the end, that is used exclusively to keep the other bread from getting stale.
Yeah, you hope that. Well, you don't hope, but a lot of times you're thinking by the time you get to that end piece,
you've already bought a new loaf.
Yeah, it's already it's going bad. Like the bread's going bad, moldy. It's old. It's stale. You get rid of it. Pepe, No way in your house.
No, never touched it. Never touched it. It's not even a full piece of bread. And the 214 is right. It's dry. It's dry. You know, it doesn't taste the same. I throw it away.
Okay. So no one, man. Everyone
It's
gets
just
the butt.
now.
The
Will
butt.
you
Dog
eat?
buns? You can use it as a hot dog bun.
Will you
I
use a
can't-
piece of regular bread as a hot dog bun?
No, it's the texture's off.
So
I will.
Well,
If I don't have a hot dog bun.
yeah, I thought of a hot dog bun. I mean, because like, how different is it if you take a piece of Wonder Bread and just flip it up? How different is that than those like gourmet hot dog buns that you see like on lobster rolls?
Bobby would say a lot different.
I mean,
Mr.
like,
brioche over here.
The actual
Butterball
hot dog buns are like much more dense
Yes.
than like bread.
Yeah,
like
they
the
are.
bread, I mean, it like almost like
It'll
melts
it'll
into
mat
the hot
in,
dog.
yeah,
It's
it
just
does.
it's not very good.
All right. They serve bread at BK, and Roberto in the junk drawer here on the fan has a Burger King meltdown.
Oh yeah, so this was wild. So this was over in, I gotta see where the exact city was. This was
Ohio.
Over, oh yeah, this was in Ohio.
That's a state, but-
And have you ever felt like I was recently really upset with my cable company, and I was trying to say, hey, I want to take this part off of it, and they said, well, if you add that part to it, it'll save you $30 a month. I'm like, okay, what's your catch though? Why is that saving me $30 a month? 13 months from now, is it still saving me $30 a month? Well, you'll have to call back and get the renewal price. So I always feel like you're trying to game me when you're offering me a savings. And apparently that is what happened to one gentleman in Ohio at Burger King. He just did not believe that he was getting a fair savings.
This man was captured on Burger King's surveillance cameras. You can see him get out of his car and pull out a gun. 38-year-old Howard Vernon was his target.
I was taking this guy's order, and he ordered like 2 sausage, egg, and cheese croissants and sausage biscuit and hash brown. The order came up to $8, and he actually thought he was like, my order can't be right. It should be like $11, and I'm like trying to explain to him that we had a promotion going on, and like it's cheaper. He started cussing and getting all loud, and I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know why you want to pay more money.
Vernon says after that, the customer sped off, but about a minute later, he pulled back around to the drive-thru window as he was helping another customer. That's when he pulled out a gun and threatened to kill him. Vernon says he also called him a racial slur.
The whole time I was just like, well, if you're gonna do it, do it. Like I'm not about to run. You don't scare me or anything like that. Just do what you gotta do. And he just kept blurting out racial slurs. It's crazy because it was a older woman that was like, his gun was on top of this older woman's car. He could have gave her a heart attack, anything.
So this guy threatened to kill somebody over, no, you're not going to give me a $3 savings. I'm going to pay $11. F your promotion. I don't know what, this is mental illness, right?
Yes.
Or does this guy just think drugs, mental illness, or
stupidity?
He just thinks like, what are you trying to sucker me into?
Or the story's not right.
Or the story's not right. Yeah. Or this guy. Yeah. This is.
Yeah.
I mean, the police have not found this guy yet. They are looking for him, and so they have not been able to find him yet. He was, I guess he's off the grid or something. He's not.
grill?
He's not. Yeah, off the grid, off the griddle. He's not easy to find, I guess. And I mean, you would think somebody who's threatening to kill you over trying to get you to save $3 is probably somebody who would live in the wind.
There's never been a person in the existence of the universe who has rejected the discount. Ever. It's never happened.
No.
I don't know if I believe this cat. I don't know if I believe this guy. I want to believe him.
They've apparently got the recordings from the they've got the security footage there, and then
they record. Every order is recorded like it's the air traffic control.
No, they've got apparently
911
no.
tapes?
Apparently, people were recording in the back, like when he started threatening over it, and they've got that woman
You
witness.
will not give me savings.
You won't.
Give me.
That guy
me a
is
bill.
clearly that guy does not strike me as he's lied. He's clearly like, I have no idea what this dude's problem was. I was trying to save money. Now it could be that he wasn't worked up about that. Maybe there was just confusion about what are you actually worked up about, and he just thought it was that.
Do you have self-checkout? Are we getting rid?
We did that already, right? We did that last week. The self-checkout.
Oh yeah, because they're all trying to charge you plus. They're trying to charge you to go through self-checkout. Would you do that, Sean?
Would you pay for a fast
Would you
pass?
pay to go through self-checkout?
I would pay
never to go through it again.
I don't like self-checkout.
I hate it.
Because I always get the stupid alarm. I get locked.
Yeah.
Dude, we really
I
are.
always get locked.
We are really about to live in South Park. That South Park COVID special years into the future where everything was plus. Samsung Plus. Welcome to Burger King Plus. Like everything's
When are they going to get rid of all the lanes that no one is attending when you go to these stores?
And just make it all self-checkout?
Yeah, like why do we even have the 7 or 8 lanes in the middle and you're walking and they're all closed? Like there's that's like Office Space.
If you go to Walmart, like it's mostly self-checkout now, and they're talking about that with the Walmart one, the Walmart Plus, where you would pay and then you would pay to use self-checkout. Now you would get like a fast pass. So there could be like separate lanes where like you have to be a Walmart Plus user.
Oh.
This is like him
would
on
Chop-
travel.
Would Chop do this to us in the grocery store?
Yeah, and he'd like walk up to it just like bouncing and smirking like just like Cheshire Cat grin.
You'd be, I've already bagged my stuff. You guys
gotta
are
wait for
lying.
us. You gotta wait for us.
Look at you guys are talking to somebody else.
I got my Protes and my Tenactin before y'all even got your first one scanned.
Pepe, are you self-checkout?
No, I mean I do it, but if I have to pay for it, I'm cheap. I'm not gonna do it. I'd rather wait in line
for it.
Yeah.
How much are they talking about charging?
They didn't say because they haven't rolled it out yet. So they were just talking.
Between this and Wendy's dynamic pricing, I'm getting fed up with how people are doing stuff.
Choppy.